Mrs. S. Shobana is working as assistant professor in the Department of English at Sindhi College of Arts and Science, Chennai. She has done a UG in botany with distinction at SRC Trichy. She has done her MA and MPhil in English literature under Alagappa University, Karaikudi. Now, she is doing a PhD in English under the University of Madras at Queen Mary's College, Chennai. She has attended many workshops and conferences and has presented papers in national and international level. She has more than 10 years of teaching experience in UG and PG in the area of English, environmental science, and soft skills. Her research interests are environmental science, public health, and hygiene.
Welcome to UGC lecture series on public awareness part 2. Now, before we go on to the part 2 session, let me recap what we dealt in the part 1 session. We saw about how to save our environment from natural disasters and what steps could be taken to preserve our environment. We saw about the environment significant days and how we have to celebrate those days and how we can create an awareness among the public regarding saving our environment. Now, we will move on to our part 2 session. In this session, we are going to deal with habitat preservation, threatened ecosystems and soil conservation. Now, let me explain you what is a habitat. A habitat is a place of living of an organism. Each organism, whether it be a human being, plant, animal or bird or insects, each one has a selective habitat of its own. The animals can survive in a variety of habitats. Man can survive in a particular habitat. Likewise, birds and insects survives in a particular habitat. So, once the habitat is changed, can they survive? The question is this. So, we have to first see the habitat of every organism and how we can preserve those habitats. Habitat preservation of animals we are going to deal with now. The rapid destruction of forests and the growth of human habitation and activities have reduced the natural habitats of animals and birds. Forest is an area which is rich in trees and woods. Now, man is habitating the forest. He is cutting down the trees of the forest and utilizing the forest for his own habitation. The forests are cleared for the sake of wood, timber and even the animals in the forest are caught and the forest area is becoming reduced and the animals in the forest are now running about here and there for their habitats. The habitat of the animals is the forest, but now the animals are in search of a fresh habitat. Can we live somewhere when we are pushed out of our houses? Never. We cannot. Likewise, when the animal's natural habitat, the forest is cleared, the animal suffers a lot. It searches for its place here and there. It runs about in search of shelter and water and prey. So, we have to safeguard the forest from destruction. Loss of habitat is one of the major pressures on several species and has led to the extinction of several rare and endemic species. Many others are seriously threatened. So far I was telling you about the clearance of forests. Now, as the forests have been cleared, earlier some animals which were able to live in the forest have now become extinct. They were not able to cope up with the new habitat, so their species got reduced and they have become extinct now. A few other species are now turning towards extinctness as they are unable to find habitat. So, it is our duty to save the habitat of these animals and save our forests from destruction. Threatened ecosystems. So, already I told you that we have to safeguard our forests from clearage. So, what are the things we can do to save these forests? If we plan and act, we can do many things. So, let me list out to you the points. Visit forests responsibly. Remember to bring out everything you take in and clean up litter left by others. See, when you visit a forest, just check what are the things you are taking inside the forest. And when you come out of the forest, you should be clear that you are not leaving any garbage or anything inside the forest. So, it will be a natural hazard to the forest ecosystem. Next thing is that stay on the marked trails and respect the fact that wildlife need peace and quiet. Study the ecosystem. It gives one a greater sense of responsibility to conserve it. Suppose if you are going into the forest to study its ecosystem and about the animals and the plants there, be very careful that you are not disturbing the peaceful environment of the animals. You should never be a hindrance to them. Don't spoil their atmosphere, which is very preservative for them. Be kind to animals. Stop friends from disturbing or being cruel to wild creatures such as birds, frogs, snakes, lizards and insects. You have to think that an animal is also an organism which is having life. If somebody comes and pinches you or pull your legs or hands, how do you feel? You feel hurted and wounded. Likewise, the animals also have senses. When you harm them, it will irritate them and it will spoil its temperament and it will wound you. You should never do such things to animals, and you have to advise your friends and others regarding this. If you see anyone being cruel to animals, kindly advise them and make them understand why they should never do such things towards animals. Learn about birds. Identify birds that are common in your area. Understand their food requirements and feeding habits. Construct artificial nesting boxes for birds. This will encourage birds to stay in your neighborhood even if their nesting habitat is scarce. At this juncture, I want to tell you regarding the sparrows. The sparrows which were found everywhere in India is now becoming few in number. All the trees and the local plants have been cut for various purposes by human beings and by the government organization. The houses of the sparrows is the trees. When those trees are cleared, the sparrows are rushing out in search of their natural habitat. They are unable to find their homes back and are unable to survive and multiply. So, you look for what type of birds are familiar in your area. Set up similar nests around your houses or around some parks and attract those birds to come and stay in your area, which will be a natural habitat to them. Listening to the sweet music of the birds and the chirping sounds of the birds in the morning will really give you a peaceful atmosphere throughout the day. So, encourage the birds to come to your area and live. Attract wildlife such as mammals, such as squirrels to your garden by providing running or dripping water. Make a hole in the bottom of a bucket and poke a string through to serve as a wick. Hang a bucket on a tree branch above your bird bath to fill it gradually with water throughout the day. As I said regarding the birds, you can attract even squirrels and small animals and insects inside your garden. You can have a cup of water or a plate of food and water, which will attract these birds and animals to come regularly to your house in search of food and water. You will be peacefully, mentally, and your happiness will be increased when you see them coming regularly to your house. Even for sparrows, you can spread some grains or food grains or pulses in your garden to attract them. They will really have a watch out to their food daily in your house. Protect wildlife, especially birds and insects that are insectivorous and live in your neighborhood by eliminating the use of chemicals in your garden. See, if you have a garden, in order to have control over the insects, you need not buy some pesticides and use them. Instead, if you allow a few insects to grow there, it will be of great use in cleaning up your garden. You need not go for chemical products for your garden. Instead, use organic measures from vermicomposting and by introducing natural pest predators. Do your gardening and landscaping using local plants to control pests in your garden. See, in order to control the pests, you have to use the vermicomposting, that is the natural manure, because lots of small organisms will be surviving in the manure and it will help to safeguard your garden. The small insects will multiply in your garden and it will save your garden from pests. If you have pets, feed them well and give them a proper home and in an emergency, proper medical care. Many of us have a liking towards pets. We simply buy those pets, even if they cost too much for us, we buy them for namesake to show off in front of others that we have got a costlier pet. But very soon we become tired of feeding them and taking care of them. We start neglecting them without proper attention and slowly we try to push them out of our houses. It is a wrong attitude. Once you take a pet, take it with fullest concentration as we take care of our children. Suppose if those pets become sick or wounded, you should take them to the concerned doctor and give them proper treatment. We have seen many people, they just ignore their pets as they have become old or they have become wounded. There are special treatment given to such animals. You have to take them to the concerned doctor and give proper treatment. That is, you have to take care of your pets as a member of your family. When you visit a zoo, learn about the animals that are found there, but do not tease or hurt them through the bars of their cage. They have a right to a peaceful existence. Some people have the interest of visiting the zoos always. So simply they walk into the zoo, they watch all those animals, they are least bothered about learning those species in detail. They just have fun there and throw stones and sticks. Even they give some decayed food to the animals which are inside the zoo. Some throw stones, some throw sticks to attract the attention of the animals inside the bar. Imagine for a second if we are kept caught in a cage. Will we be quiet? Think about the feelings of the animals. Their natural habitat is the forest. We human beings are capturing them and torturing them by caging them and putting them in zoos. These zoos are set up for human learning purposes. Every one of us cannot go into the forest to learn about these animals. We can look those pictures of animals in our books or see those pictures in televisions or media. But can we have a glance of them in front of us? No. Only through a zoo we can see these animals in front of us. So, try to be kind to the animals which are in the zoo. They are kept mainly for our purpose. So, go visit the zoo, look these animals very happily and maintain silence and maintain a proper atmosphere to those animals. So far we saw about the do's which we have to do to safeguard the habitat of the animals. Now, let us see about the don'ts. We shall meet after a short break. Welcome back after the break. So far, I was telling you about the do's which we have to do to save the environment and the habitat of the animals. Now, let me list out the don'ts which we should never do to danger the animal habitat. Do not disturb, tease, hurt or throw stones at animals in a protected area and stop others from doing so. If you see an injured animal, contact the forest officials. Do not disturb or destroy the natural habitat of birds or animals. As I said earlier, when you see a particular animal or a group of animals, when we are walking alone, we will be afraid of them and we will just walk slowly fearing for the animal. Or if we are moving in a group crossing those animals, we will try to show off in front of our friends and relatives. We will try to throw stones or harm those animals. That is a very dangerous habit. You will not only spoil the mood of the animal but will also harm the animal. So, never do this. Even advise your friends and others if they do so. If you happen to see a wounded animal on the roadside or somewhere else, try to do something. Pick up the animal, take it to the hospital and see that proper medical treatment is given. Even if you are not able to do so, contact the officials who are in charge. Just make a telephone call to them and inform them about the animal which is lying in a particular area wounded or sick. This will be of great use to the animal. You are not only saving the animal from death, but you are doing a service. You will be a motivator to the others. Some will be inspired by your action and they will also want to follow it. Do not use articles like leather handbags and lipsticks which are made from animal products. No wildlife products should be used. See, when you go for shopping, you just buy leather handbags and lipsticks and purses and wallets and all such things which are made from leather. We feel proud to say this leather is too costly and this bag is so much and so much. But before that, we have to be aware from where we get this leather. Leather is nothing but the animal skin. Are you in a mind to use the skin of an animal for your fanciful use? You should never do that. Stop buying those leather goods and try to save the animal skin from destruction. Do not catch or kill butterflies or other insects. Butterflies, moths, bees, beetles and ants are important pollinators. I told you earlier that we have to plant more plants, shrubs and trees in your area. It is not enough just planting all those things and having a look at the beauty of the trees. Once the plants become big, it will start bearing flowers. Now, when the plant is full of flowers, it will be a beautiful sight to see. The next stage of the flower is to become a fruit. How does a flower become a fruit? The flower has to be pollinated by insects like butterflies, moths, beetles and bees. If you harm these butterflies and moths and beetles, how can pollination be effective? How can these flowers become fruits? So, in order to help pollination, these butterflies are necessary, but now it is clear that these butterflies are also in the list of endangered species. So, do not catch these butterflies and harm them. Try to save their habitat and their lives. Do not kill small animals and insects like dragonflies and spiders as they act as biological pest control mechanism. As I told you earlier regarding the case of the butterfly is a natural pollinator. The dragonfly is a natural pest control. So, when dragonflies are there in our gardens, it will catch the small insects and pests which are in our gardens and plants. We need not use pest controls. Instead, we can allow these dragonflies and moths to survive in our local area gardens. Do not bring home animals or plants collected in the wild. You could be seriously harming wild populations and natural ecosystems where they are collected. Some have a fancy in saying that when I went to the zoo, when I went to the forest, I caught this animal, I caught that animal, and they will bring them, separating these animals from their parents and from their natural habitat to their own houses. If we are separated from our families and taken out somewhere and kept in some other place, will we live a happy life? No. Likewise, these animals and plants, when we are taking them out of their natural habitat and taking it somewhere else and making them live in that particular place, they cannot lead a happy life. How much ever you feed them and keep them happy, heart to heart, they will be feeling sad. So, try not to separate them from their natural home, that is from their forest habitat. Do not buy products like purses, wallets, boots and that are made from reptile skin. If you are not certain that a product is made from a wild species, it is better to avoid it. As in the case of leather, this is regarding the skin of a reptile. We buy fanciful articles like purses, wallets and boots made from the reptile skin. The reptile is tortured and the skin is removed, tanned and then only it is made into a product which is useful to human beings. Are we so cruel, so wild? In using these products which are made from animal skin, even if you are not sure whether it is made from an animal skin or not, please avoid using them. You kindly advise your friends and others and stop them from purchasing such articles. Do not buy products made from ivory. Elephants are killed for their tusks, which are used to make a variety of ivory products. Human beings are very boastful. They want others to know that they are very rich and pomp. So, they want to show off the articles which they have to just make others believe that they are living a rich existence. From ivory, many products are prepared and it is sold in the markets. It is very costly. However the cost may be, the human beings are ready to purchase it and boast that they are having it with them. The ivory which is got from the elephant is not got very easily. The elephant is killed and the tusk is removed and the ivory products are got. When you look at the gigantic elephant, how gorgeous it is to look. How gigantic and marvelous it is. For the sake of a product which we have to use for a fancy thing, the elephant is killed. Stop using these ivory products which are made from the elephant's tusk. Make an awareness to the others too. Do not use any wild animal or plant products that are collected from the wild and have dubious medicinal properties. You may be endangering a species and even your own health. See, some medical practitioners will wrongly guide their patients by telling that if you take the blood of a pigeon or the blood of monkey or a squirrel, you will become healthier. So, the animals are tortured and killed and the medicine is prepared out of the animal's body. You think that you will become healthy in taking those products. You are automatically endangering the species. Those species will naturally become extinct as they are often killed before multiplication. And if you keep on using those animal products, you are likely to meet health hazards. You will not be sure whether using those animal products is good or bad for your health. Simply listening to the words of someone, don't use such things and spoil your health and make those species extinct. Now, let me summarize so far what we have seen. Preservation of habitat, threatened ecosystem. So, as far as possible, don't spoil the habitat of the animals and plants. Try to save their habitat. Leave it without disturbing. The natural resources are not spoiling themselves. It is we human beings who are spoiling the natural habitat of the plants and animals. So, don't try to spoil the natural habitat. On the other hand, try to preserve the habitat. Now, we will move on to the question session. What is a habitat? Why is habitat preservation necessary? What steps could be taken to save our ecosystem? How can we be friendly with the animals and plants? Think of all these things and act. Thank you.